So I got into it with some of these guys, and I ended up beating the fuck out of 6 of them. They were all older than me. After that, I got arrested. And I got arrested for something that they said that I did, and I didn't do it.
And I don't think she ever expected to happen what happened. Ben, King Asshole, his brother, Dylan, and another kid, they're all Israeli, so I guess they're very close. They all took turns taking advantage of her. I have to be careful with what I say here. In every which way possible.
Well guys, over the past couple of weeks, we have covered just a variety of different alpha males, and we have seen these guys come in all different levels of shapes, sizes, and insecurities, and have even seen them come in different levels of steroid usage. With one of these alpha males that we have just covered extensively pretty recently being King Azoulay, and over the past couple of weeks, we have watched this man completely make a fool of himself in just multiple different ways, where he tried to inspire people to go ahead and bash your head into the wall so that you can strengthen your skull.
I used to sit there and hit my shins with a hammer all fucking day. Do you know why people wear boxing gloves? So they don't fuck up their hands by hitting somebody's head. Your head is the strongest bone in the body. And if you train it and bang it enough for a whole year, it becomes 4 times thicker.
And then, after spouting off with some complete bullshit like that, we have also watched the man lie for absolutely no reason, where he stated that he beat up 30 different men at once, before completely flipping it and stating that he has only ever lost 1 fight in his life, and it was to 30 different men. So I don't know what it is about this guy, but he is just obsessed with 30 men.
I've taken on not 1, not 2 guys. I fought 30 guys at the same time, and they couldn't take me out. I got my ass kicked 1 time in my life. I was 13 years old. I got jumped by about 30 guys outside of a house party. After that, I purchased an Uzi. Nobody ever jumped me again.
And with clear bullshit like this right here, it became pretty obvious that we could not trust a single thing that came out of this dipshit's mouth. And overall, he just became a full-blown lolcow on the internet. And his bullshit only seemed to intensify as you took a deeper look into his account, with him deciding to post videos talking about his supposed life story, where for the most part, it was just more downright ridiculous lying to get people to buy into his courses, and was just more insane, goofy claims, with him basically making up a Steven Seagal movie script as he went along and told this fake story.
Something that I did leave out, and I'm not talking about, is that I had family members that were big gangsters, and I really wanted to be in that world because I was fighting and, you know, people were respecting me. I then went into the world of doing underground fights. And doing underground fights was amazing for me because I fought people that were much older than me. I was 16 years old, but I was making about $2,000 to $3,000 a fight. So I started doing underground fights at about the age of 15. The way it started, I was at a hookah bar, and there was a group of guys, and I used to look at people to see if they're looking at me. I thought everybody was against me. So I got into it with some of these guys, and I ended up beating the fuck out of 6 of them. They were all older than me. A guy pulls out a gun and tells me to stop. I look at him and I say, shoot me. That was the time my mom got cancer. I wanted to die. He goes, I'm not gonna shoot you, what's your name? And I said, what the fuck are you to ask me my name? I said, shoot me. He said, no. I want you to be one of us. And we got in a conversation, and when he found out I was 15, he was shocked. I'm not gonna mention his name, and I started doing underground fights for him.
And during this complete load of bullshit that he had the nerve to go ahead and call a video, it seemed like the false king ended up making one true claim out of this entire 10-minute plus long video. And that was the fact that he ended up going to prison when he was around 18 years old, which he of course did not specify why, and probably was hoping that no one would ever figure out why, and instead just stated that he wouldn't be going back and claimed that he was accused of doing something that he didn't do.
Then after that, I found myself. I started doing carpet cleaning. And then I went back to doing some fights because I needed the money. After that, I got arrested. And I got arrested for something that they said that I did, and I didn't do it. And when I got out all clean after I spent a little bit of time in jail, I said, I'm never coming back here again.
So naturally, with King Azoulay making a statement like this, it just led to a ton of people wondering what in the hell he could have possibly went to jail for, and if he even went to jail in the first place, since this guy is a fucking compulsive liar. And one of these people was, of course, John Bravo Films, who only yesterday ended up revealing the reason why this complete dipshit went to jail, and brought all of it into the open for everyone to see. And honestly, it was something I was not expecting, and was something so severe that John Bravo by himself pretty much just nuked this man's entire career. If you could even call it a career, since all he does is act like a WWE character online. And before I go ahead and play the clip, I do want to say that things are pretty graphic, so this is your warning now, because the crime that's described is pretty damn heinous.
And I want you guys to prepare for what I'm going to tell you. He was 18 years old. He went to a party with his brother and a bunch of his other friends. They see a girl there, 15 years old, a cheerleader, beautiful girl from high school. The party, they're all there having a good time. Him and his brother and the other friend and a few other people tell the girl, hey, come back to the party at my parents' house. We'll stop by the liquor store. We'll get some liquor. We have fake IDs. We'll have fun. We'll party. So the girl listens. She goes. She's naive. And I don't think she ever expected to happen what happened. Ben, King Asshole, his brother, Dylan, and another kid. They're all Israeli, so I guess they're very close. They all took turns taking advantage of her. I have to be careful with what I say here. In every which way possible. I'm talking from behind, the mouth. It's really bad and it's really hard to say, but they all took turns on her. She was a 15-year-old virgin. Very, very sad story.
So as you can tell, according to John Bravo, it appears that King Azoulay here had committed one of the most heinous and just downright awful crimes imaginable. And when put into perspective, it just really turns this situation from some goofy alpha male into a downright sinister thing. Especially when you consider that this guy is out here trying to be a life coach and teach people how to be like him, as he would put it. And the fact that he even has the nerve to go on social media and constantly sponsor himself as this figure that other people need to become, when it really appears that he committed a crime so heinous that it basically robs this person of their innocence, is just downright disturbing. And with such a severe claim as this one right here, that King Azoulay himself claimed that he didn't do and that he was just accused of doing it, it of course requires a strong level of proof. And from what it looks like, it is really seeming that John has all of the paperwork to go ahead and back up his argument and his claims for what he apparently found. And it only makes it feel so much more disturbing.
This is a lawsuit by a young woman stemming from a brutal R and S assault committed against her by defendants Ben Azoulay, Dylan Azoulay, both of them are brothers, and Mayor Vareed, who was their friend, on July 13, 2008, at the home of defendants David and Rachel Azoulay, which are his parents. At the time, H, which I had to shorten her name because I do not want her identity revealed. At the time, H was only 15 years old and a virgin. H has suffered and continues to suffer extreme physical and emotional damages as alleged herein. At the party in Sherman Oaks, H, Catherine, and Paulina met defendants Ben and Dylan Azoulay, who are brothers. Dylan convinced H, Catherine, and Paulina to come to what he described as a party at his parents' house at Buffalo Avenue in Sherman Oaks, and Ben drove them there. So they were at a party initially, and then he convinced them all to go to his house. Ben, Dylan, and Mayer were subsequently arrested and interviewed by the police. Ben and Dylan also informed the police that they had watched Mayor R.H. Ben was prosecuted as an adult. Dylan and Mayer were both charged as minors. Ben admitted his guilt in open court and was convicted on the charge of violating Penal Code Section 288, blank with a minor. Dylan also admitted his guilt and was convicted in a juvenile proceeding on a charge of violating Penal Code Section 261, R of an intoxicated unconscious person.
So naturally, as you can tell, John not only had the report, but also seemed to have King Azoulay admitting his guilt in open court. And I did not play the full segment because it gets really graphic and really brutal, and I just did not want to go into those details on my channel. And also, because if you do want to learn the full segment, you should go ahead and go watch it on John Bravo's original video, which will be linked down in the description for the full story, since he is the one to go ahead and report this and is the one who brought forth all of this documentation, and seems to be the one who is going to be responsible for completely destroying King Azoulay's career. And after watching something like this, and after knowing this information, it really starts to make clips like this one right here, that was part of his little life story video, seem like complete and utter bullshit, and just really makes you want to cringe.
Also, men, when they wanted a woman, they like went to her father and said, hey, I'd like to ask for your daughter's hand. And they promised to stay with the woman and they gave her the world. And now you men just want to have fun and, you know, take some girl's virginity and be done with her within a week. If I found a woman that's a virgin, I'm going to marry her before even sleeping with her. My problem is that there was too many idiot men out there that played too many women, and these women, they just want to find love. They're being hopelessly romantic because a woman wants love.
And yeah, at this point, it's just fucking disturbing. And I know what you may be wondering. What in the actual hell could King Azoulay's response possibly be to this? Because you already know that his dumbass saw it, since he is constantly just always responding to the haters. And I went ahead and I've been watching his pages all day. And he of course hasn't posted on Instagram or TikTok like he normally does. And the only thing he's been doing is shit posting on his YouTube community tab. And he has been making posts like this right here, talking about how your friend might be a criminal tomorrow. And he's referring to Vitaly in it. But man, the irony just writes itself at this point. But with all of that said, I don't feel like talking about this absolute scumbag for another moment longer. And a huge shout out to John Bravo Films again, because he's the one who reported this, and I'm just basically reacting to it. So go show his channel some love. And I'm out. Watching King Azoulay completely get exposed, and peace.
You know, but I found out that people really understand things better when they get a fist in their face. They just act different. So everybody started respecting me. And I continued with my martial arts skills. I went into all types of martial arts, from Kung Fu to Muay Thai to kickboxing to Krav Maga. And I left Taekwondo. It wasn't for me because anytime I would spar and I'd kick somebody a little bit too hard, you know, I'd get in trouble. So, and I wanted to test my limits.
Shut your lame ass up, nigga.